Suzanne from Naomi's Home Health, coming to you live on Instagram over here, Naomi's Home Health Facebook page over here, and it's also going into my thyroid hormone and support group. So give me a little love heart if you are in the thyroid and hormone support group, and give me a thumbs up if you're on Naomi's Home Health. Give me a little smiley face if you're over here on Instagram. So my job is to guide you to a clean lifestyle, reduce your symptoms, and increase long-term wellness. So one thing I will never tell my clients to do, or never suggest anyone to do, is to completely change their lifestyle all at once, straight away. There are a few reasons for this. One, it's too stressful, it's expensive, you're more likely to quit, and you will get a lot of detox symptoms. So if you go in and change your whole diet and you're trying to purge all these toxins, but you're still using toxins, then you're going to get symptoms. So you're literally putting in toxins into your body, on our skin, inhaling them, ingesting them, whichever way. They go into our bloodstream, those three ways. If you're doing that and then you've cleaned up your diet and you're taking these supplements to push it out, you're going to get, your liver's going to release some of these toxins. Now, we do not want to flush the liver. We do not want to make the liver purge too quickly, because what happens is our livers hang on to toxins for years and years. You can have antibiotics in your liver or any medications in your liver for years, because our liver holds on to it so it doesn't poison our system. But when you purge or you flush your liver, it can release them too quickly and it can go into your bloodstream and you can get sick. Not everybody has that. Just because you do a liver flush or a liver cleanse quickly and you didn't get that doesn't mean it's worked, doesn't mean it's been good for you. The job is to do it gently. Now, drop in the comments if you went and did something 100 miles an hour, purged it all. Put your hand up, give me a yes if you understand what I'm talking about, where you went bang and it all just come out of your system too quickly. Or if it's too overwhelming for you or it's too much for you. My philosophy is make one improvement at a time. So I created a lifestyle cleanse program, as you've heard me speak about. If you haven't heard me speak about it, it's designed to educate you to have a clean lifestyle and live that clean lifestyle forever. It's creating new habits, but it's doing it in your own time. So you just make one improvement at a time. You're discovering new nutrition, what foods affect you and what don't, lots of things like that. So we also work on the emotional, we work on the physical, we work on the mental. So all the aspects we work on. Now, the other reason is, I get a lot of people talking about, I did this program or whatever it is, and I got really sick after it. Depending on what it is that you're doing, but if you have all of a sudden you're doing nothing, you've done nothing to help your health, and then all of a sudden you're doing all this stuff, your body's going to go into shock. It's like, what's going on here? So we want to do it gently, and that's what I coach, because it's easier to do as well. So my journey, I started off, after I was getting told there was nothing wrong with me and I was going to doctors and it was all in my head and my labs are normal, so what are you worried about? Keep taking your medication that's almost killing you virtually. This is when I decided I'm going to do my own thing, and I went to some natural healers and whatever, and none of them really got me where I wanted to go. But a friend introduced me to aloe vera, to drinking aloe vera, Forever Living products. My friend Rebecca, she's awesome. So I started drinking those and I started to feel a bit lighter and the belly bloat was going a bit. And I used some of their other products, the aloe gel, and I was effectively reducing toxins and flushing them out a little. I hadn't changed my diet, I hadn't done anything else. So it was a very gentle way I started to heal my body. Then once I was doing that and I started to think, there's something to this natural health. I was always intrigued by natural health. Raise your hand or like this post if you have an affiliation with natural health, if it's something that you really love, because it's become my passion and I'm sharing that with you. But what happened was I then started to go, okay, I'm going to investigate into more things. Then someone invited me to an essential oil workshop through doTERRA, And I promise you, I only went for the social aspect. I had used essential oils before, and they were a different brand. I wasn't sleeping years and years before this, and someone gave me some lavender to put on my pillow, or, to put it in my hands and smell and then go to sleep. It kept me awake because it gave me a headache and made me feel so sick. And so from that time on, I thought I hated lavender oil. But when I went to this workshop, the lady that was running it, Penny, she's like, you know what? Smell this oil. And I smelled the lavender, and instantly I was like, oh wow, this is beautiful. It wasn't as putrid as the other lavender. And then I learned what they do to essential oils. So the other essential oil that I hated probably had some alcohol or some kind of filler in it, and it wasn't pure alcohol, whereas pure lavender, whereas doTERRA is. And lavender is one of the most used oils in this house today. So doTERRA and using essential oils, I stopped using any pharmaceuticals. We didn't use any paracetamol in the house. If we got a cough, we started using essential oils to boost our immune system. I started to get into that like non-toxic living and using another avenue instead of the medical avenue, without the side effects, to start doing healing and empowering ourselves in this house with our health. So from there, it started, making my own cleaning products and beauty products. And I literally, over time, and this took a couple of years, as I, ran out of deodorant, I got a non-toxic one. As I ran out of a foundation for my makeup, I got a natural one. It was a very slow process. So I didn't get that purge. I didn't get all those horrible symptoms, and I started to eat cleaner. I went off gluten first, then I went off dairy, just a few things like that, and then I started adding more fruits and vegetables into my life. Then came Medical Medium. I went through some programs in this time with so-called thyroid holistic coaches and things. Some of them made me really unwell, they made me worse, but I learned something from every single program. Whether it was don't do that again, or whether it was one piece of information that really, really helped me and the rest of it sort of didn't, I did learn something, and I'm grateful for all of them. So this is where I get all my information from. I've invested in myself so much. I've done so much research, and I actually have done a lot of the things that you probably all have been doing too. So then I found the Medical Medium, and I started doing, lemon water and celery juice. I was doing it with, a bit of aloe vera here, and one morning with celery juice, but I really leapt into the celery juice. And I wasn't eating meat. It wasn't making me feel good. I wasn't digesting it. It was sort of sitting up here when I'd eat it. So I was virtually vegan, gluten-free for a couple of years. And so many things happened. Like, I just started feeling better. My gut health was better. And thousands and thousands of people have had the same reaction with Medical Medium. Like, he's got millions, like 4 million followers or something ridiculous. So what he does put out there works, but I don't go and recommend Medical Medium. I do it differently. I do a few different things. The concept of what he does, I take a few things, and that is what's in my program, but it's not all of it. I don't do that whole thing. It's snippets. I took what worked, I took what really was powerful, and then I've added in some other things that I have found to be completely healing and amazing. So just checking if there's any comments. It's really hard to see on the Facebook, the way I do it through here on my laptop. It's really hard to see if I get comments or anything. So sorry if I miss you, but if you're watching this on replay, put #replay. So I like to see who's watching. I like to know if you're absorbing the information, because there's no point in me doing all these videos if you're not watching it or if you don't like it. I want to see what you like. I want to see what you're watching, what's useful to you, what you're taking in. I'm learning from you guys as well all the time. I'm constantly learning. So so my philosophy is make one improvement at a time, create a new habit, and then That will become something that you just do all the time in your life, and then start on another one. Or in our lifestyle cleanse, it might be you have, you're doing your nutrition, and then one week you might add in a cleaning product, or you might, get rid of your perfume. That is a massive one for women. It is. I have found that to be so triggering to most women, and I think I was a little bit at first. Luckily, I had my essential oils, and I really love them. But I found that women were like, "I'm not giving up my perfume. I love it." But my mum gave me that perfume, or my brother, or I love that smell. The thing is, it is the most toxic thing you can put on your body. There is 200 toxic chemicals in a bottle of perfume. So where do we spray our perfume? Of the majority of the time, it's on our thyroid. Perfume is highly toxic. I don't care if you spray it on your clothes, it's still toxic because you're inhaling it. Ever walk past, and particularly men, I find men with way too much cologne on, and you can smell them down the street, and you get this waft, and then you sort of feel nauseous, get a bit of a headache. That's your body saying, this is not good for me. I don't like it. When you walk into a perfume counter or makeup area of a department store and you get an instant headache, that is your body saying, this is toxic, remove yourself from this area. So perfume is the hardest one for people to give up, but it is the most important. So I work on people with that, and we can see if we can find essential oils that are similar or whatever. But it's there's an emotional attachment to our perfume. Whoever gave it to you, it reminds you of that person. Or if it smells like rose petals and your grandma had a rose garden, and that makes you remind you of your grandmother. Things like that. Our sense of smell is directly connected to our emotional center of our brain, and that then evokes a memory. So this is why emotions and memories are really important to us, but this is also why essential oils work amazing in the body. So I just wanted to give you a little insight into, if you worked with me, what it would be like. It's not going to be change your whole life tomorrow, do 1,000 things, and then you're going to start crying and rocking backwards and forwards in the corner because it's all too much for you. It's not like that. I do not focus on that. I want to do this gently. I want to make sure that you stick with it. I want to make sure that you're educated, that you fully are aware of what is happening in your body and why are we doing these things. And I want to make sure that you stick with it. And these are habits for life. There's no such thing as, I think this whole 2-week cleanse, 3-week cleanse, 28-day cleanse, all that crap, it's crap. We should not just be cleansing for a couple of days. Our whole life should be a total cleanse. We should be living clean every single day as best we can. You don't have to go, if you want to eat that piece of cake when you go out with a mate, have that. But it's what you do 90% of the time or 85% of the time, the habits that you create, keeping them going as much as you can. Like this house, anything I purchase is non-toxic, as best I can. No toxins. Obviously we come into contact with toxins all the time. We don't even mean to. We walk outside, there's a car running, there's a plane overhead. That jet fuel, it drops down and affects us. It goes into the ocean. Like there is, you walk into, say, doctor's surgery, and they're spurting out that fragrance air freshener. That's toxic to you. The person next to you that has a perfume on that you're inhaling. We can't help all the toxins we come in contact with, but we can help what we do in our house. We can put some plants in our house or a air filter to try and cleanse the air a little bit. We can eat as best we can, but we can also enjoy our lives at the same time and have some of the things that we really love. Like, sometimes we can have gluten-free. I always use gluten-free flour, and if I make a cake or whatever, most people don't even know it's gluten-free. If people come over and we have pasta, it's gluten-free. No one ever says, oh my God, what is this crap? Is it gluten-free? I don't tell them, they don't know, and we're all better off for it. So, it's about getting used to the new things. And don't look at it as making a change. Look at it as you're creating something new in your life that's going to improve your life, and you're going to benefit from it. Look at what would happen if you don't make that change. Instead of looking at how hard it's going to be, look at, oh, this is what's going to happen if I don't. And because it will. Just because you feel well today doesn't mean in 2 weeks you're going to. Anything can happen tomorrow. So keeping yourself healthy and clean living is really important as we age, particularly as we age, but it's especially important to teach our children, because in this house, my kids have grown up conditioned to grab an essential oil, to have an apple with a headache, suck on some watermelon, I make fresh juices or whatever, or have some aloe vera if you've been out in the sun too long, like put it on your skin or drink it. That is the conditioning in this house. Whereas growing up in our era, the conditioning was grab a paracetamol if you've got a headache. We did a few things at home. Mum did do a few things that was beneficial, like natural health. Like if you have a tummy ache, boil some rice, drink the water from the rice. That actually does help your stomach. Whereas some people, it's like have flat lemonade. Do not have flat lemonade if you feel sick. It's got no health benefits whatsoever. We use essential oils here, or we drink aloe vera, one or the other. I drink celery, but if you're sick, making celery juice is an absolute punish, because who's going to clean the machine? So, it's about educating the whole family. This is what I do. It's about making sure we all know clean living. Like, I can tell you a little story about my son. When COVID hit, they were using hand sanitizer in the bathroom, in the classroom. As you come in, you use your hand sanitizer. I said, look, buddy, I'd rather you wash your hands than use hand sanitizer. Hand sanitizer actually depletes your immune system because it kills the good bacteria as well as the bad, but it's highly toxic and poisonous. And then we touch things and we put them in our mouth. I haven't used any hand sanitizer in the whole 3 years. It's horrible. I wash my hands, but I also made my own, or I get the On Guard spray from doTERRA. Anyway, it comes in from the classroom. The teacher says, here, mate, use some hand sanitizer. He goes, no thanks, my mum said I don't have to because it's toxic. So he understands. She was happy with it. She knows me. So she was like, oh, all right, go wash your hands. And then I had made some for him to put in his school bag, so he went and used his own. So he was doing the right thing, but he was using a non-toxic one. And that was him taking his power and saying, this is what I use. I don't want to use your stuff because I know what it does to my body. And he was using that. He comes home from school and he'd be like, oh, they told me at school that this was healthy, and he knows that this isn't healthy and that's not healthy. So I've educated them from a young age that we don't need to run and grab a cold and flu tablet. We don't need to run and grab a Panadol. We can manage things ourselves. I can make you an elderberry immune boosting drink. I can make you a ginger and peppermint tea. All of these things. These things are what we should be teaching ourselves and passing on to the generations below us. So this is what I'm all about, education and making improvements in your own time. Healing is a process. We don't need to go and do it tomorrow. It's going to take a couple of years. Your body took 20, 30, 40 years to get sick. It's a build-up of toxicity. It's a build-up of a viral load. It's a build-up of pharmaceuticals. It's a build-up of bad food, alcohol, drugs, whatever you've done in your life. It's a build-up of that. Stress, trauma, PTSD, all of that. It is a build-up of that over our life. And then we can't undo it in a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. We need to take our time, and it is going to happen in our own time as we age, as we get, and we'll start to get better week after week after week. But you need to be patient. One thing I didn't have before, but you need to be patient. It will happen. It will happen in your own time. But in the meantime, it's just about learning. That's it. Learning, creating new habits, improving your life. So that's how I roll. And the reason I do that is to soften the blow because I know what it's like. I've been there. So book a call. I do free 20-minute calls. Book a call with me and we can go through a few things, and I can, see where we can help you, because I know I can help you. I know I can help anybody. And that's what I want to do. Even if you are not healed fully, you will get better with what I teach you. you will have improvements. You will see improvements. You will reduce your symptoms. I know that. So let's start working together so we can start to make you feel better.